ABC were three partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 2:2:1, and this was the balance sheet as at the 31st December. A's capital 30,000, B's capital 20,000, C's capital 5,000. General reserve 10,000, creditors 15,000, total 80,000. Building 40,000, cash 15,000, profit and loss account 5,000, furniture 20,000, total 80,000. C takes retirement on the same date. Goodwill was valued at rupees 25,000 and C's balance was transferred to loan account. A piece of furniture worth rupees 2,000 was no longer useful. Building was written up to 48,000. Prepare the new balance sheet after retirement of C. This is the question. When we start writing the solution, first of all, we have to set the ratios. The old ratio of ABC was 2:2:1. The whole question is silent about the further ratios. It means the gaining ratio will be 1:1 and the new ratio will be 1:1. So the new ratio, gaining ratio and old ratio have been set. After that, this is the turn of accumulated profits and accumulated losses. Accumulated profits are always found on the liability side of the balance sheet. And we can see there is one general reserve of rupees 10,000. Means there is accumulated profit. So, all accumulated profits are distributed among old partners in old ratio. And the journal entry will be general reserve account debit to A's capital, to B's capital, to C's capital. 10,000, 4,000, 4,000, 2,000. General reserve, it is an accumulated profit and it is always shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. It means general reserve carries credit balance. If you want to remove the credit balance from the balance sheet, you will have to debit it. So general reserve has been debited and A, B, C have been credited. Whenever you credit the capital accounts, the balance gets increased. It means you are increasing the balances of capitals of A, B, C. Now let's have a look at the balance sheet. Is there any accumulated loss? Yes, there is profit and loss account of rupees 5,000. So it will be removed. I mean to say it will be distributed among A, B, C. And the journal entry will be A's capital account debit, B's capital account debit, C's capital account debit to profit and loss account. 2,000, 2,000, 1,000, 5,000. And after that, this is the turn of revaluation account. First of all, have a look at the question, and it is clearly written that there was a part of furniture worth rupees 2,000 was no more useful. It means our furniture had two parts. The value was 20,000 and it had two parts. One was 18,000 and the second was 2,000. 18,000 is in good position. We can use it further, but 2,000 is no more useful. So we have to write it off in the books. Means we have to remove this part from our books. It's a loss. And whenever there is loss, we have to pass the journal entry revaluation account debit to furniture, rupees 2,000. And then building was written up to rupees 48,000. Be careful, written up, it means it has to be raised. We have to increase the value of building to 48,000 means up to 48,000 means this value will be taken up to 48,000. It means there will be increase of rupees 8,000 in the value of building. It's a gain. So the journal entry will be building account debit to revaluation account rupees 8,000. So there are only two transactions of revaluation account. So it means there must be some loss or profit which must be distributed among ABC. But at present we can't calculate the value of loss or profit. So we can leave the space for one journal entry for the loss or profit on revaluation account. Now this is the turn of goodwill. You know, whenever there is retirement, there is change in ratio. Whenever there is change in ratio, somebody loses, somebody gains. In this situation, C is losing and A and B are gaining. So the gaining partner must compensate the sacrificing or losing partner. Or losing partner is C. So in this way, the journal entry will be A's capital account debit, B's capital account debit to C's capital account, because A and B are going to grab the share of C in future. Now the question is, how much C should be compensated? Whenever there is change in ratio, the losing partner must be compensated on the basis of the value of goodwill at that moment. And the value of goodwill at this moment is 25,000 rupees. So C is going to lose 1/5 share. So he must get 1/5 of 25,000 rupees, and that is 5,000 rupees. It means 2C's capital 5,000 rupees, and it is always compensated by A and B in the gaining ratio, and gaining ratio is 1:1. It means A's capital account will be debited by 2,500 and B will be debited by 2,500. In this journal entry, we can see that A and B are losing their capital, means the balance of capital, and C is gaining the balance of capital. And after that, C's capital account will be transferred to C's loan account. Whatever he is carrying, the balance in capital, that will be transferred to C's loan account, because in future C is no more partner, and the capital account is only and only for the owners, or we can say partners, because the C will not be owner in future, so we cannot keep his capital account. So capital account is closed and the balance is transferred to loan account, but we don't know the amount, so we'll leave the space for amount. Now let's move to the ledgers. You know, after journal entry, we have to make the ledgers, and this should be the order of the ledgers. Number 1, first of all, we have to prepare revaluation account, and then goodwill account, then cash account, and then capital accounts. So first of all, revaluation account. Revaluation account will be prepared on the basis of journal entries we have passed. So have a look at the journal entries. So first of all, buy building 8,000, and then 2 furniture 2,000, and total on both sides 8,000. 6,000 is the balancing figure on debit side. It means this is the profit, and this profit will be transferred to A, B, C in their old ratio. So to A's capital, to B's capital, to C's capital. 2,400 in inner column, 2,400 in inner column, 1,200 in inner column, and in the outer column will be 6,000. You know, there is a profit. We have already left the space for one journal entry. So let's go to the journal entries again and pass the journal entries. Revaluation account debit to A's capital, to B's capital, to C's capital. 6,000, 2,400, 2,400, 1,200. Be careful. I am not writing any narration for the journal entries, but don't forget to write down journal entries in your exams or in your homework. Now, this is the turn of goodwill account. In the whole question, we have not debited or credited goodwill account. So, leave goodwill account. Then come to the cash account. We have not debited, we have not credited any cash account. So, you can avoid it or you can prepare the cash account. To balance BD 15,000 and by balance CD 15,000. Now, this is the turn of capital accounts. So, 3 column on debit sides and 3 column on credit side. By balance BD 30,000, 20,000, 5,000. By general reserve 4,000, 4,000, 2,000. To profit and loss account 2,000, 2,000, 1,000. By revaluation 2,400, 2,400, 1,200. Then buy A's capital, buy B's capital, and write down goodwill in the inner column. So come to the C's column, 2,500, 2,500. Now come on the debit side to C's capital. In the inner column, please write down goodwill and 2,500 in A's column, 2,500 in B's column. Now, first of all, we have to close C's capital account. We cannot write down to balance CD means the closing balance, because closing balance is always carried on to the next year. We cannot carry the C's capital account to the next year because after today he will be no more partner. So we have to close it and we have to transfer the balance to loan account. So write down to C's loan account, and in the inner column you can write down transfer and write down 12,200 in the C's column. Now to balance CD, 31,900 for A, 21,900 for B, and the total on both sides 36,400, 26,400, 13,200. In this way we have completed capital accounts. Now come to the balance sheet. I am going to prepare columnar balance sheet. This columnar balance sheet is preferred by some authors and teachers, and sometimes it is not preferred by some teachers. So I strongly advise you to follow your teacher. But for the convenience, I am going to prepare columnar balance sheet, means 2 columns of amount on left hand side and 2 columns of amounts on right hand side. First of all, let me complete the old balance sheet. In the first column, building 40,000, cash 15,000, profit and loss account 5,000, furniture 20,000, total 80,000, A's capital 30,000, B's capital 20,000, C's capital 5,000, general reserve 10,000, creditors 15,000. Now after that, we are going to prepare the new balance sheet after retirement. Building will be 48,000 now, cash is as it is 15,000, profit and loss account is no more, it will be 0 now. Furniture is only 18,000, because if you have a look at the graphics of balance sheet, the part of 2,000 is gone, the remaining part is only 18,000 now, and the total will be 81,000. There was no more creation of any asset. So these are the old assets which have been written with the new values. Now A's capital 31,900, this is the balance CD from ledgers. B's capital 21,900 and C's capital is no more because C's capital account has been closed. And general reserve, previously it was 10,000, it is no more now, and creditors are 15,000 as it is, and there is a new item on the liability side, that is C's loan, and C's loan will be 12,200 and the total 81,000.